Jayson Tatum's box plus minus for the last 3 seasons. In 21-22, it was an even 5. It was plus 5.5 in the 2022-2023 season. In this season, he is a plus 5.1. Now, what do these numbers mean to you? Now, to my analytics people out there, so basically, in a real kind of, how can I put this, truncated way, I'm going to give you kind of like the criteria of the box plus minus and how they kind of score it. A plus 10 box plus minus is all-time season, okay? So that's basically what the season that Jokic is having right now. So if you have a plus 10 box plus minus, that's Jokic. A plus 8 box plus minus is an MVP season, okay? So that's your Joker, Luka, Giannis, SGA. They're all 9 or better. So 8 plus is MVP level. Okay? Keep in mind of what I said about Jayson Tatum earlier. 6 plus 6 is a all NBA consideration. Those are your Halliburtons, your LeBrons, your Sabonis's, people in that range. So that's your plus 6. Your plus 4, okay, is a all-star. All right? All-star. Tatum, do you know that Kristaps Porzingis has a better box plus minus than Jayson Tatum? Just food for thought. Who else? Anthony Davis is in this range, so you kind of get the feel. Now, a plus 2 box plus minus is what they call a good starter. That's Cat, Bam, and Drew Holiday. Those are guys in that range. Now, a 0 box plus minus, meaning that you're a decent player, meaning that you add value, you're not really hurting the team, you're kind of keeping everything above board, right? You're just keeping it kind of steady. Your MPJs of the world, your Nikolai Vucevic's of the world who play for Chicago, the Josh Harts of the world. So if you kind of wanted a scale of what box plus minus really is, there it is. And now, with Tatum being 5.1 this year, and knowing that Jokic and Luka and SGA were really way above that, it kind of gives you some numbers to formulate your own opinion. This is mine. Now, how clutch is Jayson Tatum? We got numbers for that as well. I want to read you a quote by Kobe Bryant. All right? He's so beloved here. You know that. You know that Kobe is loved in LA, especially here in LA. You know, we lost our man too soon. But what Kobe brought to LA and what we love about Kobe is Kobe had no fear. We always go back to the Utah playoff series when he was real young and he missed he airballed 3 3-pointers. But that started the legend of Kobe. Kobe was never embarrassed by failing. I'll say that again. Kobe was never embarrassed by failing. And let me give you this quote. Once you know what failure feels like, determination chases success. Rest in peace, Kobe Bean Bryant. And thank you for the lessons that you continue to provide for us, even in death. We love you, Kobe. We will always love you. I have some numbers to back this up as well. This is not a smear campaign towards Jayson Tatum. There's an actual point, but I want to get to this, and then we can move on, and I can make my point. Jayson Tatum is ranked 25th when it comes to clutch numbers at this present time. Now, detractors of this actual stat will tell me that, hell, you don't know anything about basketball, Vince, because the Celtics didn't play in a bunch of clutch games. You're right. They didn't play in a lot of competitive games because they blew people out, right? They had one of the most historic net ratings in the history of basketball. So obviously, his clutch performances were going to be truncated a little bit. But I do still have numbers. We can still use this as a actual tool. And what I'm going to use is the actual numbers that he did have. Okay, so what they said that Jayson Tatum, he played approximately 110 clutch minutes. Now, let's use SGA, because he played 107 clutch minutes. So we got two basic same guys, even, right, in a sense. We got one who aspires to be an MVP candidate and one who was a actual top 3 MVP candidate in SGA. So the minutes are close. So 110 to 107, we got it. Okay. Shea ranks 7th in clutch performance. So he played 3 less minutes than than Jayson Tatum, and he ranks 7th on this list of clutch performers. Now, the field goal percentage in clutch time is the stat that we need to talk about, and this is where I'm going to make my point. Shea shot 58.1% in clutch moments. Jayson Tatum shot 36.1% in clutch time moments. Well, you say, Vince, again, he wasn't in a lot of them. And Shea is an MVP candidate, and, Jayson Tatum is not. Okay, so you want somebody who is not an MVP candidate to go up against Jayson Tatum and see where the stats lie. Okay, I got one for you. Did you know that Victor Wembanyama played basically the same amount of clutch minutes, and he had a better field goal percentage than Jayson Tatum? So here's a team that has no one. No, Vassell is okay. Keldon Johnson's okay. But we understand that team is a lottery team. They didn't have a lot of talent on it. And Victor shot better his rookie year than Jayson Tatum, who's been in the league 7 years. Okay, you'll say, well, beginner's luck. How about Tyrese Halliburton? Is that good enough? He also shot 10 percentage points better than Jayson Tatum in clutch situations. So, that's the argument. And that leads me to today. That leads me to these playoffs today that we're talking about. Jayson Tatum talked about to the media how his team doesn't get respected because everybody considers it a super team. No one considers it a super team. Because for it to be a super team, it has to have a bunch of, top 25 guys on it. And usually, a super team will have one guy who is in that mix when you talk about difference makers in the league. Usually a super team will have that one guy who's a Durant, Giannis, Jokic, Luka, SGA. If you want to go back in the day, MJ, Kobe, LeBron, whatever case may be, right? So he says all this. He says that's why we can't get our coach of the year. This is why we can't get MVPs and we can't have 3 all-stars on the team. These are quotes from Jayson Tatum. I think Brad Stevens, the executive of the Celtics, probably said it without saying it. A Kobe disciple. And that playoff performance that you guys put up the other night in the Boston Garden against a team that is definitely just not equipped to deal with all of what you have. Even with Kristaps hurt, you got drummed 120 to 95 on your home court. it makes me think of the Kendrick song. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I hope you guys do. Jayson Tatum, not like us.